So I've been sitting with a question lately, one that I've never really heard asked out loud. At what point do we achieve diversity? Like, when do we just stop measuring it? When do we just stop tracking it? When do we look around and say, yes, we did it? This is the dream. What does that even look like? I'm not here to provoke or engage in conspiracy. I'm just here asking the question. I always thought that diversity was meant to be this beautiful tapestry. Different music, food, stories, backgrounds, a little poetry, a little kick, but it still needs to hang from the same flagpole. But that only really works when people want to be here, when they choose to belong, not just live side by side, but sharing something deeper. And yes, I know I'm a little late to this particular party. It's been a hectic week. But the story that I'm talking about has been out there for a week or two. But I have been sitting with it and I don't want to rush it because I wanted to give it a bit more time. Now, recently, Robert Jenrick said that parts of Birmingham, specifically the area of Handsworth, was one of the worst integrated places that he'd ever been to. That he spent half an hour and a half there and he didn't see another white face. He added, "It's not about the colour of your skin or faith, of course it isn't. But I want people to be living alongside each other, not parallel lives." He didn't say that diversity was bad. He was observing the fact that it wasn't a mixed community, not reflective of the country at large. And people got upset. Because that's what confuses me. Because if someone said there are no black faces here, we'd call that underrepresentation. We'd ask why they don't feel welcome. We'd want action. But when it's the other way round, we're supposed to pretend not to see it? So which is it? Is noticing the issue, or is it only an issue when the stats go one way? I'm not here to stir the pot. I'm just a girl asking questions. I just want people to live their lives black, white, brown, beige, pastel pink. I don't care what colour you are, as long as you're kind, part of society, pay your taxes, and don't leave shopping trolleys in the middle of the car park.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Because that's the real villain here. And have we accidentally created a new kind of segregation? Not a legal separation, but a cultural one, a conversational one, a world where everything is viewed through skin tone first and everything else second. Integration isn't about numbers or faces, it's active, it's participatory. When Jenrick said, "I want people living alongside each other, not parallel lives," he wasn't talking about a census sheet. He was talking about how we live, how we belong. If you move somewhere or you're born somewhere and you don't engage with the culture, don't build bridges, don't learn the rhythm, the jokes, the neighborliness, then you have presence, not participation. That's not integration, that's just coexisting in the same postcode. So we say that we want inclusion, but inclusion is a two-way street. To be included, you actually have to want to be included. You have to show up and be in the number. So are we building something shared, or just creating parallel tracks and hoping that they don't collide? And that's why I feel so uneasy when public figures, even sadly beloved ones, feed this low level us versus them energy. Whether it's politics, media, or celebrity, some people seem invested in keeping communities separate. You'd think that some celebs were getting paid for every divisive comment they make. One group is always cast as the victim, the other the villain. Separate pain, separate stories, separate futures. But I don't believe it has to be that way. I believe in shared ones. We're stronger when we stop sorting people by category and start seeing them as people. Not a skin colour, not a census tick box, but a neighbour, a colleague, a friend. That's how we find people with shared values, even if we have different backgrounds and histories. And that brings me back to Jenrick. Because on one level, it's amazing that Britain has thriving, multi ethnic communities. It's beautiful that people come here, fall in love, raise children, and build lives. This little island, for all of its faults, is somewhere that people want to call home. But his point still stands. If you walk through an area and don't see anyone who looks like the country at large, maybe something hasn't quite worked. Diversity isn't an inclusion isn't about who's here. It's about whether we live together or just live near each other. Shared spaces, shared rituals, shared language, humor, grief, and joy. And you can't fake that with a poster campaign. That's built through belonging. Now, I don't have the perfect answer. I never pretend to. I'm not a sociologist or a minister. I'm just someone who wants to live in a country that feels whole, that remembers its roots and welcomes the new, that builds something together, not apart. So, I guess my question is, when do we stop trying to look inclusive and just start being together? And why does it feel like the harder we try to talk about belonging, the further we drift away from it? Now let me know what you think below. Kindly, please. This is a delicate topic and I'm really not here to provoke. And as always, please like and subscribe if you're feeling generous. It really does help me out. Thank you.